Hey guys, so it's Cece here, and I thought it would be helpful if I actually started doing tutorials so I could guide you along as I draw, so you'll be able to create the drawings yourselves. So today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how I color my Disney drawings. The colors that I'll be using are specifically chosen for this drawing, but the techniques that I use are the same for all my cartoon drawings. The most recent drawing that I've been working on is one of Baymax from Big Hero 6 and Sadness from Inside Out, so that's what I'll be doing my tutorial on today. Before we begin, I'll just quickly introduce you to my materials. The paper that I'm going to be using is Strathmore Tone Tan paper, and the color pencils that I'll be using are Prismacolor Premier pencils. I'm going to start with Baymax first, and so the colors I'll be using to color Baymax are 20% warm gray, white, seashell pink, beige sienna, and black. The first step of coloring Baymax is pretty simple. I'm just outlining and coloring in his eye with a black pencil crayon. Now I'm going to start shading in his head. First, I'm going to shade in the shadows with my gray pencil crayon. Baymax has shadows mostly on the bottom area of his head where it meets his body, and also some on the top of his head as well. So I'm just going to lightly shade in those darker regions in gray. Also, you've probably noticed that I lightly outlined the bottom of his head black. Since the bottom of his head is filled with shadows, I've just used my black pencil crayon to intensify the darkness. But after adding in the black, I'm just going to go back in with the gray to make it look smoother. Finally, after I've shaded in the shadows, I'm going to take a white pencil crayon and basically just fill his entire head. This is just the first layer of coloring in his head, and after adding the white, I'm going to go back in with my gray and darken the shadows, and I'll use the white to blend everything in, and I'll keep repeating this process until I am satisfied with how everything looks. For his arm, body, and legs, I'm going to use the exact same technique as I used while coloring in his head. So I'm going to go in and shade in the shadows first in gray, cover everything in white, darken the shadows again, and just keep layering as I go. Now Baymax has a pinkish purple patch on his arm and on his leg as well. For this part, I'm going to use my beige sienna for the shadows, which are on the right side. I'm going to lightly fill the right corner of the patch with beige sienna. Then I'm going to use seashell pink to blend everything in, and finally I'm going to use white to give this patch some highlight. Rhyme not intended. Right where Baymax's head connects to his body, his head casts a small shadow in the shape of a triangle. So first I'm going to take my black and lightly shade in that triangular shape, and then use my gray to blend it in. To make everything look sharp and clean, I'm going to outline Baymax with black. Because I don't want this outline to be too dark, just like what I did while I drew the face, I'm going to go over the black outline with gray and make everything smoother. On the bottom of Baymax's legs, there are shades of beige sienna, so I'm going to shade in the bottom with sienna and then just go over that with gray to blend everything in. Lastly, to finish off Baymax, there is a small shadow behind him, so I'll just simply use my gray pencil crayon to fill that in. So Baymax is done, and now we're going to start drawing Sadness. These are the colors that I'll be using for the blue parts of Sadness: sky blue light, blue and tinted Copenhagen blue, and white. Just like what I did with Baymax, I'm going to color in the darkest areas of Sadness's face, and then go in with the lighter blue and white to blend everything in. Sadness's darker areas are mostly on the bottom of her face, because since it's a spherical shape, that's where it rounds off, and the top of her face is the brightest, so that's where I'll be applying my white to. Between Sadness's face and where her sweater meets, I'm going to use my dark blue and gently outline that area to give it more darkness. Before I continue coloring in her face, I'm going to use my dark purple and black to color in her glasses. I'm going to draw the purple oval shaped glasses and then use my black to outline some areas just to make the glasses look sharper. So now that I finished drawing in her glasses, I'm going to fill in some parts of her face that I haven't already and also outline her eye in dark blue. For the first layer of her hair, I'm going to use the light blue and just color in the parts where I want her hair to be. Then I'm going to go back in using my white and dark blue to add more lines to make them look like actual strands of hair. The hair on the right side of her face is a lot darker than the hair on the other areas of her head. So for this area, I'm mostly using black and dark blue to draw the strands of her hair. And after that, I'm just going to go in with my white and add highlights. So Sadness's mouth is pretty simple. I'm going to fill that area with black and leave space for where her two teeth are going to go. For her teeth, I'm going to lightly sketch in a black line for where her teeth separate and then use my white to fill in the rest. Here, I'm just outlining her hands with dark blue and just shading them in using my light blue and white. Now onto her pants. The top of her pants will be the darkest because her sweater casts a shadow over them. So I'm going to use black for the top of her pants and then use my dark blue to blend everything in. For her feet, I'm just using my light blue to color that in. There isn't much shading to be done here, and her shoes are just simply dark blue. I'm going to just outline all of that using my dark blue again to make her look sharper and cleaner. And of course, I'm going to use my lighter blue and just go over that outline to make it smoother. For Sadness's sweater, I'm going to be using 20% warm gray, white, and black. So I'm going to start off filling in the darkest areas with my black and gray. Wherever her sweater folds, there will always be a shadow there. So those are the darkest areas that I'll be filling in. And after I've done that, since her sweater is white, I'm going to use my white and blend everything in. And of course, I'll just keep layering with my gray and white until everything's completely smooth. This is a white Jelly Roll pen, and I'm going to be using this for the details of her sweater. First, I'm going to take my black and draw a line, and then right next to that line, I'm going to use my white Jelly Roll pen, and then again use my black to give it an outline. The reason that I'm using this pen is because it makes the details on her sweater really eye-catching. For the details in the center of her sweater, I'm going to use my black and sketch in the lines of her sweater, and then I'm going to use my white and add a new layer on top of that, because I don't want the black lines to be too obvious. When you're drawing in this layer of white, you have to make sure that your strokes are parallel to the black lines underneath. This way, nothing underneath will be smudged and you can still see the black details. For the very bottom of her sweater, I'm going to be doing the exact same thing as I did with the top of her sweater. So everything is basically done, and I'm just going to go back in and add in some finishing touches. And now we're done. I hope you found this video helpful, and hopefully you can incorporate some of these techniques into your own drawings. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to see more tutorials like this, give this video a big thumbs up and tell me what tutorials you would like to see next in the comment section down below. And don't forget to subscribe for more fun videos, and I'll talk to you guys next time.